How you guys doing, man? Chop chop unk. Dad is live. Welcome back, father. I don't have a kid, yo. What yo? Nah, yo, you wildin', Mikey. Protein fiend. I got my two macaroni cheese cups. I ain't had much time to make food. I literally just got home. If one of y'all vape on YouTube holding that smoke for me, suffer. Yes. Yes, please. I hope you hold it until your eyes start. You know what I'm saying? Drink some water, bruh. I'd rather have you smoke a cigarette. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, though, I don't want you sounding like those people in the commercials that be like,
I smoke 20 cigarettes.
I don't want you to sound like that, though. If it came between a vape or a cig, smoke the cig. Even though I really hate, I just don't like the smell, bruh. No, 33. Okay. 33. You said, oh no. This one's sad? We're starting off sad? How sad we talking, bro? I mean, I guess I gotta see for myself, but damn. SCP 3001. Red Reality.
SCP 3001. Red Reality. What does it mean to be truly alone? You can be alone in a room, in a building, on an island, or on the moon, or you can be alone in your own mind. But we all live in a world filled with people. SCP-3001, on the other hand, shows us an example of an individual that is truly and utterly alone, which is a unique case of science fiction, and yet it also manages to be surprisingly grounded in reality. SCP-3001 is not a happy story, but it's also an incomplete one, which leaves us with a sense of hope. The bulk of 3001 takes the form of transcribed logs, so I would suggest reading through it all yourself, but I'll try to strike a balance between summarizing and reading them. To put it simply, SCP-3001 is a non-dimension, accessible through the creation of a specific type of flawed wormhole. Basically, it is a space between dimensions that really shouldn't exist, but was discovered by the SCP Foundation accidentally. It is believed to extend infinitely in all directions, but possesses no matter of any kind. The non-dimension also has an extremely low Hume level, which is
It's about time, big bro. Turn them lights off. Yeah, you right. You right.
is a degree of measurement
good,
used
it's
by
good,
the
it's good. It's good
Foundation
to hear,
to
man, it's good to
measure
hear.
the strength or amount of reality in a given area. In other words, our baseline
And yourself, I mean, I've been good, man. Can't complain. I've been busy all day, though, but, just thankful to be alive, man. That's it. That's all, man.
reality has a given level of Hume that we're accustomed to, but certain factors, such as other dimensions or reality benders, can change that level of Hume as things become more or less real, so to speak. What a very low Hume level means for 3001
Yeah, you good, bro. I get it. You on the game. You gotta lock in. I feel it.
is that matter that would be located inside the non-dimension decays at an extremely slow rate, and organisms could still function despite taking damage that would normally kill them, up to a certain point. The downside of this, however, is that Hume fields tend to even out, and so prolonged exposure to 3001 will cause an organism's Hume level to drop until they begin to disintegrate.
Damn. They got aura like that? What you call an imaginary person with no torso? What you call them, Mikey? A nobody. I don't know why. That was good. That was good.
3001 was discovered in 2000, while Dr. Robert Scranton and his wife, Dr. Anna Lang, were working on a device that would stabilize reality by manipulating Hume levels. Unexpected seismic activity at the site damaged several experimental reality stabilizers, creating one of those specific wormholes, which proceeded to pull Robert into the non-dimension before closing. We are then presented with a large number of logs, transcribed from audio recordings made by Robert.
He can still make laws? bugs.
For the first 8 days of Robert being inside 3001, he attempts to navigate the non-dimension to find a way out while going through periods of panic, confusion, and anger. He eventually makes his way over to a control panel that had gone through the wormhole with him, although he doesn't realize at first that it is actively recording. He makes several recordings, presumably for his own benefit, as he states his name and date of birth, mentions his favorite color is blue, and his favorite song is Living on a Prayer, and that he loves his wife, Anna. Before long, he notices a flashing light on the control panel, and realizes that the machine is working and recording. He panics and states his name again, asking if anyone can hear him, saying he doesn't know where he is. He's not sure at all how the machine is working, but he's pretty sure that no one can hear him. He also notes how hungry and thirsty he is, saying that he should have died of dehydration by now, an effect of the low Hume level, although it will take Robert some time to realize this. After fiddling with the machine some more, he locates the controls, causing the machine to speak, telling him he's been here for 2 weeks, 3 days, 7 hours, and 58 minutes.
No food, no water. Boy, for 2 plus weeks? Should make you thankful for real to even have food around, bro. Niggas, like, I know this is not real, but niggas are really not eating outside. And I be sad that I can't eat for 3 hours, because I'm fat. Excuse me.
Another week goes by, with Robert realizing now that it doesn't seem like he'll die here due to hunger or thirst,
Certified
and he
Big
wonders
Dick.
if by some miracle he'll find his way out of here. 5 weeks go by with Robert barely recording anything, but he comes back and says that he's been trying to learn about this place he's in, referring to it as his prison and his kingdom. He manages to maintain his professionalism, recording a log saying that he's going to document this place as an SCP to maybe help someone else in the future that gets stuck in here. A few days later, he records a log as if it were a standard SCP document about the non-dimension, but we can see the cracks in his mental state beginning to show. The only light source in the entire non-dimension is a small red light on the control panel, so he's been using that as a marker for his explorations.
I go crazy, bro.
He also notes that he's felt an itch or a tingle across his head recently, but only if he concentrates on it. He next realizes that although he's thought he's been walking on flat ground this whole time, there really shouldn't be anything to walk on in this place, and now he notes that it's felt more like he's been swimming through something that's been applying pressure, like a thick black gel. He now realizes that by concentrating, he can actually move vertically as well as horizontally, again using the red light as his reference point, or as he calls it, Little Red. He understands a bit more about the location he's in now, knowing that it was caused by a problem with the reality stabilizer. He does some math, and apparently figures out how low the Hume level of this non-dimension is, but is not sure of the effects of that, as he's mostly worked with above average Hume levels. At this point, he really begins talking to the red light directly, as if it were a person. He seems to be speaking to it and imagines responses coming back from it, but this is pretty understandable given the situation. Robert's scientific mind allows him to keep focus, however, as he continues to perform calculations to help him understand 3001. He learns that the reality stabilizer that sent him and the control panel here cranked up their Hume levels to a few times normal level, meaning that it will take longer for them to equalize with 3001 and disintegrate. By his calculations, he has about 3 years or so before he's gone, and he believes he'll have something figured out by then. The tingling feeling he's had is his Hume level starting to diffuse. Robert's next log reads, "Hey, Red. I'm gonna have to go for a bit. I want to test something, and you can't come with me. I'm sorry. No, Red, I'm really, really sorry. I want you to come, I do. But if we're together, the diffusion will increase faster. We both need as much time as possible. I need to figure this place out more, and you need to make sure you keep all that info in your head. It's... Red, come on. You'll be fine, Red. I know you will. You're tough. A lot tougher than me. It'll only be for a bit, Red, but I need to see if I can find a way to keep us alive a bit longer. Maybe even get us out of here. If I can contain enough field, I can maybe even get us out. No, I'm not sure, but I need to find out. Red, we're talking about possibly escaping, okay? Yeah, it's a gap. A gap should have an end, like the walls of a canyon, understand? I need to find a wall, and then I can... I'm sorry, Red. I hope we're still friends when I come back. I'm going now. I'll see you soon. The control panel didn't record anything for nearly 4 full months, when suddenly Robert returned, far less hopeful than when he left.
Oh, shoot.
He says that this place is hell, and it goes on forever. He traveled in a single direction for 2 months before turning around.
Damn, 2 months?
He then wonders if he let himself fall down long enough, would he eventually hit a bottom? More than 4 months go by before Robert returns again, saying there is no bottom either. This is the point where Robert's mental state really begins to deteriorate, as he asks Red if he's ever been married, or had kids, begging Red to talk to him. He suddenly realizes that his picture of Anna is fading due to the Hume levels, and he panics, begging Anna not to go, and asking Red to go get help.
So I thought we was learning about the galaxy for a second, but realized it was, nah. Imagine someone's actually going through this. Nah, if this was a real life story, this would have been crazier, bro. What? Nah, that would have been nuts. But yeah, nah, it's just a horror. SCP Foundation. So it's a horror series. This channel guy, we just watching that, and we're just going through a random number generator. So this is just one of the videos we picked up on. And like I don't got much to say, bro. It's just crazy. Like I'm at a loss for words, low key. I wouldn't even know what to do in this situation, bro. You can't do shit. You really can't do shit. Nah, it's dead entertaining. Nah, it is though. Yeah, storytelling skills up there, man. I'm putting myself in a situation, and I'm like, yo, like that's fucked. Like you can't do nothing about that. Like no amount of praying is gonna help you in this situation, bro. I don't know what you can do. Why is my audio so low? But it's like I'm about to roll your bell.
Help. Robert loses coherency at this point, as months go by with him only sobbing, screaming.
Mind you, bro, he's my neighbor. This is
and mumbling. It has now been roughly 2 years and 9 months since Robert entered SCP-3001. Robert finally manages to return and make another recording, although his voice is now distorted due to both his own and the control panel's Hume levels dropping.
Damn.
He says that he can't feel his legs anymore, and he's not even sure if he's real anymore. But he knows he doesn't want to die yet. He says he went in a straight diagonal line for 6 months, and fell down for 8 months, but still found no end. He tells Red that he and Anna were planning to name their kid Lucy. His hand begins to break apart.
Wait, his girl was pregnant? If she was, that's tough. I don't think they mentioned that she was pregnant. So if they pregnant, that's tough. Damn, Robert.
Resembling a spider web. But he still retains his knowledge of science, continuing to do calculations on 3001. Unfortunately, his body is beginning to seriously disintegrate, as he claims his hands are moving through each other, and he pulls his thumb off. He says he can go through himself, feeling both warm and cold, and also loses a kidney, but pleads to let him keep just his heart. 5 years have passed now, with Robert and the control panel still somehow held together. But finally the red light begins to fade.
Damn.
9 months go by, and red seems to make a return. Robert attempted to kill himself over 220 times, but none of them worked.
Yo. Of course, if you're going through this, man, please seek some help. But imagine trying to off yourself and you can't even do that. Bro, I would actually go insane, bro. Like, you want to just end it all, because the life you live right now is just nothing. There's no out for nothing. You can't even off yourself to, like, end the suffering. You can't even just end it. You have to live through this shit no matter what. That's tough, bro. That's tough. Bro, I'd be so mad. I'm like, I can't even kill myself. In GTA, I ain't, love yourself. Don't do that to yourself, man. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here, man. I don't like hearing none of that talk. I don't like none of that talk.
He can't see his body due to the darkness, but speculates that he at least has 1 foot left, a few leg muscles, maybe a lung, and a heart. He claims that
Gotta keep yourself safe for sure, bro. For sure. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, man. Just realize you are important too, bro.
this non-dimension is now getting smaller, as there now seems to be a visible border that is getting brighter. The light from this border allows Robert to see himself, and he says there's so much gone, although the control panel seems to be far more solid than him. Robert claims that touching the panel hurts like hell, but he's surprisingly lucid now. He comes to a realization about the collapsing border, which is acting more like waves, and also begins to understand what we already know about 3001 being a non-dimension between two realities, saying that it's a dead end. Robert says that these waves are from a parallel reality, and they're pushing on him and Red, gradually creating a new wormhole. The only problem is, he's not sure what will happen when that wormhole is created. Robert's body continues to break down as blood leaks from him, and he finds himself constantly vomiting, despite not having eaten anything for years, nor having a stomach to hold anything.
Make it make sense.
He says that he's not ready to go back yet, as he's pretty much a floating pile of organs kept functional by 3001. He has to stay away from the waves to prevent him from going through a wormhole and dying, but unfortunately the control panel will eventually go through. Robert says that he has 5 more years in 3001, during which he will slowly restabilize, giving him 5 years to figure out how to get out, but he'll have to stay in here without his metal companion. A humming pulse begins growing louder in the background, and Robert breaks down in hysterics again, becoming almost incomprehensible as he begs both Red and Anna for support, wanting to hold her hand, and telling her he lost his ring.
Damn.
5 years, 11 months, and 21 days after an incident sent Dr. Robert Scranton into a non-dimension, the stabilizer control panel, thought lost, suddenly reappeared in the testing facility. Dr. Anna Lang, overseeing the testing, went to investigate the panel, horrified at finding it covered in blood, bile, viscera, and hair, identifying the hair color as belonging to Robert.
About time y'all
A
found
hand
something.
fell off of the panel, along with a wedding ring, and Anna accessed the first audio log, hearing her husband's voice for the first time in nearly 6 years. She proceeds to faint from shock. This is where the story of SCP-3001 leaves off, ultimately unfinished and leaving Robert's final fate to your imagination.
What? Nah, they need to finish this story off. I need to hear a good ending with this story. I'm not gonna lie. I thought once there was like contact from the real world to Robert, I thought something was gonna happen to his wife, and he wasn't gonna have no idea. That would have been crazy. But at least they okay. But he's going through it right now. I ain't gonna lie, he going through it, bro. I wouldn't know what to do. He going through it.
According to the author, although much of Robert went back to our reality along with the control panel, there is still some of him in 3001, and it's quite possible he's still functional. Will he find a way to eventually return to reality and reunite with his wife? Or will he slowly go completely insane and disintegrate entirely? Those aren't the only options, as some tales have shown, but I think it's good a story like this is left so open to the reader.
This is good.
The concept of being isolated from all human contact is certainly not a new one in fiction, but it's rarely taken to this degree.
For sure.
Not only was Robert left stranded with only a machine to talk to, he was left in near total darkness and had no way of ending his life. Chances are we've all felt emotions of loneliness and isolation at one point or another. But at least we're not stuck in the red reality.
We need a good ending from this, bro. I need a sequel. I need a sequel on this, bro. Seriously. They're letting our creativity continue the story, bro. Nah. I thought it was gonna be like some Silver Surfer type stuff. Low key, kinda is, but not really. I'm only saying it just because he in space and in a void. But that don't really relate. What am I talking about? But let's move on though. Let's see what we get next. Hopefully it's more brighter than what we just heard. Give me something in the 20s, bro. It's another 30. I think we watched 30. Already. We'll see. Yeah, we watched 30 already. Didn't we? No, I don't think we watched 35. Okay. We skipping this one too? 24. Okay. 24. Damn. RP my nigga Kobe, man. RP 24, man. RP my nigga Kobe, man. RP Kobe and all the passengers on the plane that also went down due to that, tragedy, man. RP to all them people, man. Joe Schmo. This sounds safe though, but Joe might be like a Dragon Ball Z level threat.
This document was recovered from the site-redacted precious document vault.
Anomalous object AO-1504 WGG-YXJK. Item description.
You watched the statue yet? No, I didn't. Oh, shit. Whoa. Slip just said they about to run Among Us soon. If there's time. Because I still got to get this out the way. This stuff to talk about first. But, we'll possibly get to that too. If I got time. Yeah, man, some Among Us. We'll see. But yeah, Mikey, I haven't.
An unremarkable man who was not able to be harmed. Date of recovery. Location of recovery. Current status. AO-1504 is held in a standard humanoid containment cell, which has been stricken from the document and replaced with missing.
Missing?
Addendum 1504-1. Interviewed, AO-1504. Interviewer, Dr. Lloyd. Forward. AO-1504 is being questioned on its background. Playing log, now.
Alright, talk to me. What's going on?
What is your name? I don't remember. Joe, something. Okay. Now, what year were you born? 1982. Thank you for the year. But do you have an exact date? No. I never knew when I was born. Oh, excuse me. My nose is bleeding. I'm sorry. That was weird. I've never been prone to random nosebleeds. It's fine. Maybe a storm is coming. I've heard that changing air pressure can make a person's nose bleed.
Maybe. Do you know why you can't be hurt?
I don't really want to talk about it.
That's fine. Thank you for your cooperation with today's interview. You may return to your room.
Was that a trauma
Addendum
response?
1504-2.
We didn't know his true anomaly. We didn't know what he could really do. I guess he affects computers too. Our automatic security system began to have hiccups. A breach here, a breach there, but nothing that surprised us. But then, our Keter got out. Only about half of the staff here realized it. The other half all died. We managed to contain it.
This man Joe killed half the staff? Yo, does Joe have like a split personality? Either he got a split personality like some Two-Face shit, or he's acting and he finessed whoever was in that room. He must have been finessing. Joe, if you a finesser, you crazy, boy. What? I still wonder. I don't know what he does exactly though. But I feel like Joe be finessing. Though. Ain't no way you just cry like that, because that low-key makes sense. But maybe it just brought up a bad memory. I don't know.
We sent a request for more staff, but they never responded. Our supplies were dwindling, so we asked for more. Nothing. They didn't even acknowledge our existence. We had more breaches, more deaths, yet we never questioned these breaches or these deaths. I don't know why we didn't question those deaths. Earlier today, we had a site-wide containment breach. All the doors opened because of those hiccups I mentioned earlier. Most of the remaining staff members are dead. Those who are still alive are few and far between. We can't contain a breach of this magnitude. All other Foundation sites will probably ignore it. They'll cite it as completely normal and ignore it. I'm gonna put this in the vault, then set off the on-site nuke. I'm already badly hurt, and the blast would save more lives than it will end. If anyone ever finds this,
They finna nuke this nigga? He's gonna blow the whole facility up because they can't end Joe. Joe Schmo. They can't kill Joe Schmo. They finna nuke the facility, bro. Yo.
tell my wife that I love her. And I'm sorry for spending so much time in my job. Tell her that I said goodbye and that I'm thinking of her as I die.
Man, tell her yourself. I'm leaving over there. I'm not nuking. I'm sorry. I'm not finna nuke the facility. I'm not offering myself like that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm going straight to my wife and kids, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
This is researcher Darrell Lloyd. Signing out.
Does he actually do it?
Addendum 1504-3. The site's nuclear warhead was detonated on to counteract a Class 7 containment breach.
Let me guess, it didn't work.
A total of anomalies were destroyed in the blast, 2 anomalies were recovered, and 2 anomalies are missing, including AL-1504. The Foundation personnel died inside.
So the whole time the nuke didn't even work, bro. I knew that was a bad call. Like, bro, what?
This document has been updated per the new information recovered from Site Redacted.
I knew that was a bad call.
Item number SCP-1504. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1504 is not currently contained. If any Foundation personnel see the subject, they are to contact the current project head. In the event SCP-1504 is found, it is to be brought to Area 114 and contained in a 3x3x3 meter containment chamber. To enter the subject's containment chamber, a total of 4 Level 3 staff members are needed. 2 staff members must remain inside the control room to remotely enact the failsafe should a containment breach occur. The failsafe consists of flooding the containment chamber and surrounding areas with halothane vapor, which is proven to be the only viable method to incapacitate SCP-1504. Viable method to incapacitate SCP-1504 was stricken from the document. Extensive research has shown that SCP-1504 can be incapacitated by blunt force trauma to the head. The subject is to be kept fully confined and incapacitated at all times through the use of restraints and halothane vapor. Other staff members must release multiple locks simultaneously. A minimum of 4 guards are to be protecting them at this time.
Crazy, bro.
After all locks are released, 1 staff member may enter the containment chamber. The guards must be ready for a containment breach at all times. The containment chamber is open. No automatic systems may be used in Area 114. All doors and containers must be locked using simple combination locks or simple padlocks. All personnel working at Area 114 must have a high aptitude for parapsychology or a strong resilience to perception shifts. Description: SCP-1504 is a Caucasian male, standing at 1.95 meters tall. The subject's appearance is unremarkable, aside from a small birthmark on its right shoulder. SCP-1504's anomalous traits include its inability to be harmed or killed. All actions carried out by SCP-1504 will be perceived by surrounding individuals as being within expectations for the situation. SCP-1504 has been known to attack personnel, who will then believe circumstance or their own doing has hurt them. The subject is able to affect electronic and automatic systems. SCP-1504 was brought to the attention of the Foundation because of its inability to be harmed and was classified as an anomalous object after initial testing. The subject was held at site in the anomalous object wing of the facility. A site-wide security failure and subsequent containment breach resulted in the on-site nuclear warhead being detonated. SCP-1504 was declared missing after a search of the site did not reveal a confirmed death. A low-priority search was issued, but was soon raised to high priority after the above document was found. Mobile Task Force ETA-6, aka Awareness Filters, was formed to find SCP-1504. Addendum 1504-1. After being further analyzed and sent through multiple filters, it was discovered that SCP-1504's responses were different from what was previously recorded. The document has been updated to include these responses.
Alright, so I'm kind of getting it now. I should have got it the first time, but he's basically able to manipulate technology. Is he doing it on purpose though, or is it just like some shit he has no control over? That's what I'm wondering. Is that his intent? I couldn't speak English for a second. God damn. Was that his intent, or was that just like that's just out of his control? Cause I don't really. That's what I'm really trying to understand here. Like, is he purposely doing this or not?
Interviewed, SCP-1504. Interviewer, Dr. Lloyd. Forward. SCP-1504 is being questioned on its background. Playing log, now.
What is your name?
I'm not gonna tell you. You'll just ignore me.
Okay. Now, what year were you born?
Told you. You wouldn't even notice if I punched you in the nose.
Thank you for the year. But do you have an exact date?
I didn't give you a fucking year. Hey Doc, watch this.
Oh, excuse me. My nose is bleeding. I'm sorry. That was weird. I've never been prone to random nosebleeds.
It's because I fucking punched you.
Maybe. Do you know why you can't be hurt?
I could say anything. I could do anything. I could say that I'm gonna rape and kill your wife, and you wouldn't even notice.
Yo. Hold on, let him cook though. Not like that though. Let's see what he gotta say.
I could actually rape and kill your wife, and you wouldn't notice. I'm living in a virtual hell because I can't die. I'm gonna step outside this room and take a guard's gun. And I'm gonna shoot myself with that gun, and nothing, fucking nothing, is gonna happen. Do you know what that feels like? To be in a room crowded with people, and they all ignore you. Do you know how hellish my life is? I want to die.
That's fine. Thank you for your cooperation with today's interview. You may return to your room.
Okay. This concludes our lecture for today. Thank you very much for listening, if indeed you still are, and you were all dismissed.
It kind of relates to the last situation, like, not entirely, but just off the, like, I want to end my life part. Because I'm continuously living through this. I can't control what's going on around me. And I can't just, stop it here because I can't die. Like, my nigga, what's going on? Obviously, if you're going through something like this, seek some help. Talk to me, man. Hey, look, man. You're important, man. Don't do it. That's probably not as persuading, but you're precious, bro. Life is precious. Don't waste it, man, please. By how Joe is sounding, I think I got the answer to my question. So I don't think he's doing this intentionally. It's like there's no control. He has no control of what he's doing. He just wants to end it. This better not be a sad one, bro. I need something. We in the 30s today. Okay, 32. SCP-3000. Anesthesia. Oh my gosh, this is what they be calling the Loch Ness Monster, bro. That's how the Loch Ness Monster be looking like, bro. This is why I can't be a scuba diver, because obviously it hasn't been proven that these things...
3,000.
Hold on, bro, I'm talking. It hasn't been proved that, like, there's freaking humongous freaking stuff in the water besides, like, whales and stuff like that. But I mean something looking like this. Like a demon, like this. Nothing's been really proven like this on a big scale like this, but dog, this is why I can't be a scuba diver. I don't want to go deep in the ocean, bro. I can't, bro. I ain't trying to see no shit like this. And if I'm on top of the water, I don't want to think of some shit under me that could possibly look like that. I'm good, bro. Scuba divers, man, y'all one of the bravest people I know. Seriously, I can't do it, bro. I can't. The ones that go deep, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it.
Anantashesha. The SCP Foundation is aware of a number of entities that could be considered gods, or godlike in some way. Some of these are actually contained by them, while others are uncontainable, either existing outside of our physical dimension, or for some other reason. For practically all of these, though, the Foundation treats them with extreme caution, as they represent little more than threats to our existence. There is an exception, however, in SCP-3000. Its status as something godlike is debatable, which we'll discuss later, but it is a rare example of a thaumiel entity, an anomalous creature that the Foundation utilizes to help their operations.
Okay.
Simply put, SCP-3000 is a massive eel located in the Bay of Bengal, near India. 3000's full size is unknown, but is believed to be between 600 and 900 kilometers long.
Damn, hold on. How long is a football field in kilometers? What the fuck? Dog, look at this. Boy, what? Look at this, bro. He said 900 km? What the... You know how many football fields that is? Hold on, I gotta do the division with this one, bro. Hold on. What? That was like 0.91, right? Sorry, I gotta really see. Like, I really gotta see. It was like 0.091 actually. If I'm not Jesus Lord. That's about 9,890 football fields. How do you not take up the space in the ocean, bro? You probably make up the like 97% that we didn't explore yet. The fuck? Hold on, man. Jesus, I'm sorry. I had to look at that, bro. He a big boy, man. That boy be getting his food in, man. He probably ate all the other fishes in the ocean, bro. There's no fish in there, bro. It's just him. He's just lonely.
Ending in a head 2.5 meters in diameter. 3000 is not necessarily contained, per se, but since it rarely moves, the Foundation simply patrols the region of the bay where it's located and prevents any diving expeditions in the area. It was discovered in 1971 after a number of Bangladeshi fishermen went missing after drifting near the Indian coast, and the Foundation stepped in to investigate. Its biology is not well understood by the Foundation, but they hypothesize that it doesn't actually require any sustenance in order to continue living, but it is carnivorous. It's unknown exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Let me finish up, okay? Huh? With the video. Nah. Huh? Like 15 more minutes? Alright.
But it is carnivorous. It's unknown exactly what happens to prey it consumes, but during feeding, 3000 excretes a thin layer of a viscous substance that the Foundation has dubbed Y909. Its existence as a massive eel, hundreds of kilometers long, would certainly classify it as an SCP alone, much like SCP-169. But that's only the beginning of its anomalous traits. We've discussed cognitohazards a few times before, anomalous effects that can alter an individual's mind, or
imagine you and the boys, which will never happen in my reality, but imagine you and your friends want to go on a trip in the ocean, man, just want to cruise out, man, into the water. Maybe go to an island, and you see this shit. This will be the most I would have thought my life was over. This will be the most terrifying thing to see. Oh, man, and it's raining and it's thundering, bro, look at that. It look like it's from the thunder, bro. I would cry. I would cry, bro.
way of thinking, and SCP-3000 itself is a cognitohazard. Direct observation of it will result in head pain, paranoia, fear, panic,
Oh, for sure.
and
Fear,
memory
yeah.
loss or alteration, and even being in a certain vicinity of the eel can result in these effects. These effects are further described not only
They're giving him aura. You feel pain around him. Imagine you just walking. You're like whole time is not like you're not doing nothing wrong, bro. It's just like he's just near you. You're in his vicinity, bro. You're in his aura. You're in his aura bubble. That's crazy, bro. That ain't fair, bro.
a log discussing the initial discovery and encounter with SCP-3000. A team descended in a submersible, and all of them were feeling uneasy. But one in particular began sweating profusely,
That would have been me.
stating that he was missing something, but he couldn't figure out what. He begins to act more erratically as they descend, expressing doubts about what exactly he's supposed to do down there. Other members of the team began to express similar feelings. When they finally saw the body of the eel, the erratic individual began whimpering and had to be sedated as he muttered the word "no" over and over. When they finally approached the head, several other members were complaining about feeling hazy, unsure of what they were doing here. The captain wrote it off as nitrogen intoxication. SCP-3000 turned its head to look at them, and the sedated member began barking and shrieking, claiming that it was in its head, until he smashed his face into one of the potholes and they had to ascend due to the cracks. He had mortally injured himself, and as he lay dying, he said, "There's nothing, nothing, nothing."
I'm trying to think, like, yo, like, seeing this shit, dawg, I would, like, oh, I'll be so scared, bro. Oh, I'll be trembling, boy. Knowing me, realistically, I'm not gonna be in this deep of water. I'm never gonna go that deep ever. But shit, I'm not Joe, bro. I think in this SCP episode, bro, I think we can off ourselves here. I would have done that. Look, and I did say life is very precious like 20 minutes ago, but can you blame me? I'm not trying to see this. I don't.
There's nothing, nothing, nothing.
Nope.
Despite this incident, a diving expedition was ordered to personally assess the creature and investigate the source of the thick gray fluid that had been observed around its head. 3 members of MTF Orion 9, Kingfishers, were sent down. The water was dark and cold, which was to be expected, but other problems began almost immediately as the team becomes confused over their call signs, both mixing up who has what designation, and one of them even being confused by the word designation. The leader also addresses someone back at the command station who had been dead for 2 years. Regardless, command tells the team to continue towards the entity, but each of them are completely confused about where they are.
Is that bad?
As they continue approaching, one of the members begins to utter ominous phrases concerning oblivion and dark eyes. SCP-3000 begins to rapidly approach them, and their radios go silent for 30 seconds. When they come back, it's clear that the team is in chaos, and one of the members has been eaten. The leader seems to have completely forgotten who he is, where he is, and what he's doing. He soon gets eaten as well. Only one of the team remains, and he still seems to be somewhat coherent, claiming that it's extremely difficult to form thoughts while near 3000. He says that it's coiled inside of his head, and that it's just sitting there in front of him. He sees the fluid seeping out of its skin around its head, and he goes to retrieve a sample, sending it up towards the surface. He finishes by saying not to send anyone else out here. His breathing could be heard over his radio for 3 days before ceasing. I mentioned at the start that SCP-3000 is a thaumial entity, meaning it somehow assists the SCP Foundation in their operations, and you may be wondering how a giant eel that messes with your head does so. The answer is in the gray fluid excreted from the entity, called the Y909 compound. The Foundation utilizes a large number of amnestics during their work, chemicals that cause an individual to forget certain things. These chemicals are vital for keeping the secrecy of the Foundation and the SCPs intact, as well as helping many SCP personnel cope with things they have experienced. For a number of years, the Foundation's amnestics were rudimentary, breaking down fairly quickly in storage, causing a number of side effects, and had often questionable efficacy overall. The inclusion of the Y909 compound has greatly increased the stability and effectiveness of the Foundation's amnestics, however, allowing them to store for much longer, a significant decrease in side effects, an increase in suggestibility and memory clearance, and little to no intrusive memories years after their use.
Okay.
The Foundation has come to completely rely on the Y909 compound.
Is it really worth it though? Like, okay, it works overly decent, but to retrieve it, if you're trying to send me on a mission to restock, and I gotta get it from his head, I'm good, coach. I'm good, bro. You ask somebody else, cause I'm not doing it. I am not touching that thing. I am not going nowhere near that thing. No. That is terrifying. To go into dark, cold water and you have no idea what's going on. You just get eaten. Boom. Game over. It's over. Can't do nothing.
With no means to synthetically reproduce it. And so the ATZAC protocol is
So you back. How was the game, bro? What game was you playing, bro?
introduced.
It's ads.
The protocol is
My
simple
bad,
enough.
bro.
It involves deliberately feeding a sedated D-class to SCP-3000, which causes it to excrete the Y909 compound. A specialized team of deep-sea divers then approached the entity within 2.5 hours after feeding, during which its cognitohazard effects are lessened. They collect as much as they can of the fluid and return to the surface. The rest of the SCP-3000 report concerns 2 doctors, a researcher, Dr. Krishnamurthy, and his staff clinical psychologist, Dr. Manava. The psychologist was assigned to the researcher after he attempted to exit.
See, now is this a random picture on Google? That's why I'm low-key laughing, because is this actually a picture? Like, did he actually cooperate with this, or was this found on Google and y'all just put the name? Or did y'all just find like doctors in India and find... one of those got to be true. One of those got to be true. One of them got to be true, and it's just funny to think about that.
Out of the SCP-3000 monitoring submarine without diving equipment. The researcher begins discussing how he feels tired, and his body is beginning to feel disconnected from his mind. He's forgetting things about his work and his life, and he's been having dreams featuring people he doesn't recognize, and places he's never been.
That's freaky, bro.
It's clear that his proximity to 3000 is greatly affecting his memories, as he is unsure if he's even married, or if he has children, despite having 5 of them. He does see 3000 in his mind, however, and at this point he begins discussing Anantashesha, the king of serpents in Hinduism, that lies beneath the god Vishnu in the cosmos. He recalls that his mother told him once that when the light of the universe had gone out, Anantashesha would be all that is left, past the end of time.
Yo, what did I say? What did I call this video before I started? Did I say... I forgot what I said, but I completely butchered that shit. What was I talking about? Never quote after me, I ain't gonna lie. My pronunciation skills aren't the best most of the time, so, wow. I forgot what I said. That's crazy. That is not close to what I said. That's all I know. That was not what I said.
He believes that SCP-3000 is Anantashesha, a god that exists across all of time simultaneously. He says, in defiance of the nothingness that comes after this, all of this, there is Anantashesha. There's a chance that my memories might live on, that I might be remembered like the memories I've seen have been through me. I don't have proof of this, but when I looked into its eyes and saw what it showed me, I was afraid. I'm merely a mediocre man, Anand. This was a fear that I have refused to acknowledge for years, a fear of irrelevance, that no one will know who I am when I die, afraid of being forgotten, afraid of my life being meaningless, afraid of being alone, afraid of dying. There is a terror within me that I cannot reconcile, Anand. I won't lie to you and tell you that the maw of the Naga does not terrify me as well, but between this and the infinite dark I have gazed into, I have made up my mind. Dr. Krishnamurthy was held in containment for 2 days before being released. 3 hours later, he approaches the airlock to the submarine while weeping and prepares to open it. Proximity alarms begin to blare as SCP-3000 approaches the submarine. The doctor puts on a
Don't tell me
diving
this
suit
is him, bro.
and exits the submarine before anyone can stop him.
This is him?
3000 approaches him and opens its jaws wide. The last thing the doctor says is that he was wrong, and sobs as the eel consumes him. The rest of the crew begin preparing to carry out the ATSAC protocol. We're given some excerpts from Dr. Manava's journal, in which he discusses that he now has to figure out why Dr. Krishnamurthy became suicidal, and how to prevent it from happening to any of the other personnel.
What?
He writes that he's not a very religious man, and doesn't believe SCP-3000 to be anything other than an anomalous eel. He racks his brain thinking about his father and his teachings of Hinduism, but cannot recall much, although he blames this less on the eel and more on his own willful forgetfulness. He was allowed to look through Krishnamurthi's effects and keep any that he wished, and so for some reason he decides to take a statue of the god Ganesh. Manava is aware that his continual proximity to SCP-3000 is draining his memories, both from his youth and more recently. He makes an attempt to learn some Hindu poems and songs, but can't seem to memorize any of them. We're given a memorandum from the site director that elaborates somewhat on the Y-909 compound and the ATZAC protocol. The Foundation originally believed it to be blood, but it's more akin to a prion slurry. Prolonged exposure to the compound is pretty similar to prolonged exposure to 3000. Some of the biologists believe that when SCP-3000 consumes a human, it is breaking down some part of their brains that makes them sapient, and the residual substance from this process is Y-909. They also found that SCP-3000 is not digesting these humans at all, and their bodies are still inside of it.
Oh, shit.
In other words, SCP-3000 is capable of...
So you tell me they're just chilling in there, probably having a whole conversation right now with like everybody that got devoured. So he's not intentionally trying to just, oh wow, okay. So he's just opening his jaws wide and they just go in there and he's not like chewing them up or nothing. What?
Of breaking down and devouring the human mind, causing them to forget their own existence.
What?
And the Foundation is purposefully encouraging this in order to create powerful amnestics.
So whole time they in there have no idea, they probably have no idea where they're at right now. Have no idea of nothing. Because once you in there, you dead ass can't leave. Because you're going to forget. It's like the Men in Black shit where they flash your face, bro. The flash pan, bro. Like, you're not going to remember nothing, bro. That's tough. You're going to be in some guts for the rest of your life. That's crazy. That's crazy. Without concepts, it's crazy, but y'all know what I mean. That's nuts.
The Ethics Committee and the Classification Committee are looking for ways to make this more tolerable, but since the Foundation really depends
on... Oh, shit, hold on. Jay just called me. I think they're playing right now. Let me see. He about to ask about Among Us. Oh, well, I'm gonna text him. It's all good. He probably on D&D. I ain't finna call again. Let's get this video done, though.
On these amnestics, the process continues. The final log is another journal page from Dr. Manava. He has been spending a great amount of time studying the effects of SCP-3000, but still has no idea what would cause a sane man to step out of an airlock into its mouth. Earlier that week, he had knocked over a picture of him and his family, and found that there was writing on the other side, with his name, his wife's name, and his daughter's name.
Okay.
However, the writing was in Dr. Krishnamurthi's hand, not his own.
Oh.
This puzzled Manava, and he began to be stressed by the uncertainty of it. Finally, he went into the personnel archives and discovered the truth. The woman was in fact Krishnamurthi's first wife, and the girl was one of his daughters. Manava had believed that they were his wife and daughter, but more than that, he had memories of them that he now realized were in fact Krishnamurthi's memories. This realization causes him to finally understand exactly what SCP-3000 does. It breaks down and destroys human consciousness, the spark of thought that makes us unique and what we believe to be a soul, and then scatters it. It leaves a husk behind that is nothing more than electrical signals passing through matter that will someday become inert. He writes, "If even I can't remember myself, how can I expect anyone else to remember me? I have forgotten my own life, and I am strangely apathetic at this revelation. I will fade into the darkness, as thousands before me have, and thousands after me will. No one will care, as I am forgotten, I do not despair for my own sake, but for us all. You and I. We will all face obliteration. I am not important. You are not important.
Well, damn.
Vast droplets of irrelevancy, stretching eons in the sea of time. We may fight against it, but our enemy is inevitability. I do not think that the eel is a Nantashesha. I don't think it would matter if it was. What is clear to me now, as I feel myself coming apart, is not that the eel is some mythological creature, or divine serpent. Perhaps it's just a primitive creature that eluded us, holding no malice. Perhaps it really is a primordial deity, harboring resent beneath the surface. The eel is not the harbinger of my demise, or humanity's doom. The eel is not the end of all things. It only shows us what the end looks like. And in spite of everything we might believe, every ideal we hold or providence we pray for, I know this much is true for all of us. Our end will be a forgotten one. Dr. Manava was later discovered near the airlock after consuming a significant amount of raw Y909.
Raw is crazy.
Unresponsive, he was moved to Site 151 for analysis.
So,
SCP-3000 is a dark SCP, and the concept of destroying memories and human consciousness makes what would otherwise just be an enormous eel much more interesting. Existential dread affects many people from time to time throughout their life, and it's not unusual to be concerned with who will remember you, what will they remember you for, and ultimately, your purpose here. Dr. Manava was probably right, that SCP-3000 is not a deity that exists throughout all of time, but it is certainly a powerful entity. There are many SCPs that can kill, or maim, or horrify humans, but there aren't that many that can destroy what it means to be human. And that makes SCP-3000 pretty unique.
unique indeed. That's something I never heard before. But that's scary to even think about. Let me read. Y'all probably can't see this though. But, someday soon, perhaps in 40 years, there will be no one alive who has ever known me. That's when I will be truly dead. When I exist in no one's memory, I thought a lot about how someone very old is the last living individual to have known some person or a cluster of people. When that person dies, the whole cluster dies too. Why was there a comma after? Alright. Vanishes from the living memory. I wonder who that person will be for me. Whose death will make me truly dead. Damn. The off yourself combo. That's pretty much it, bro. Yeah. They hit us with a whole... Bro. This generator hit us with a whole 3-piece. Every situation you would want to off yourself. You probably forget how to do that. In this situation, you probably forget how to do that. This is the Thriller Thursday of agony and despair. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This probably gonna be the saddest episode yet, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's it for Thriller Thursday, man. Shout out to all y'all. If you reach the end of the episode today, hopefully you're tuning in for more. Thanks for watching. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Sub or you're a sub. Whatever that means. Check out the Discord. Check out the Twitch if you're watching this on YouTube. Check out the live channel. I'll shout them all out here.